That's much better. All right. Everybody, we're back. Took a little bit of a hiatus. YouTube doesn't like us very much, I guess. We got our hands slapped for having nice things to say about our people.
Yeah, it's still a constant uphill battle, but
We'll get there.
we'll get there.
In time. I know it moves at a glacial pace, but I guess we just got to be patient.
Patience, and as the everything starts to evolve, we got a couple big hearings coming up, and
That's true.
yeah,
Well, I figured since it was one of the episodes that got taken down, we get Cole back on the podcast.
they took mine down.
It was one of yours was one of the ones that got taken down. Which I don't know why yours got taken down. We just talked about the vet for most of it. I don't understand that. But we're back recording Strain of the Week. This is episode 9, I guess. Like, I don't even know how I'd count it, considering episodes are missing from you. All the episodes are available on Spotify and Apple, iTunes podcast on the audio version. There's just no video to go along with it.
Yeah.
So that's all still there. It's just on the YouTube. It got taken down in that way.
Okay.
But today, I figure we get into some of the current events that have been going down. Because other than all the obvious things that everyone's talking about, like in Jersey and the industry as a whole, like the hearings, like you just talked about, the reschedulization, I think it is medically fully rescheduled, right? That's
It's rescheduled as a different tier,
right.
I
It's Schedule
believe,
3.
as of now. Yeah. I mean, it still doesn't help us necessarily.
No.
It helps the medical market.
But it gets the ball rolling to set the
Yeah,
precedent.
it's progress.
Yeah, it gets the ball rolling for them to rethink. They are. Didn't I see that they're considering a bill, or they're forming a bill that will just fully reclassify? Or is that just an AI article? That I saw?
No, I mean, I think someone probably proposed it. Probably won't go anywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're just throwing stuff at the wall.
No, I know. Which is frustrating. But
Yeah. But,
eventually it'll stick. You keep doing it. Other than what I wanted to talk about was the weird, it's honestly just weird move that Texas made
and
recently.
like almost overnight.
Yeah, there was no like build up to this, because all the things like the hemp ban is rolling out to kind of bring the hemp derived THC out of the gas stations, basically.
Yeah.
That's really all it's doing. But out of nowhere with all that, and then like the progress that's going on reschedulization wise, all of a sudden Texas, like within the span it seemed like of 24 hours goes, we're going back in time.
Yeah, for a state controlled by a party that likes to talk a lot about personal freedoms, they sure like to take away their own constituents' personal freedoms. So it's kind of strange.
Yeah, I guess we should mention what's going on. It's a new bill that essentially recriminalizes
Felony.
THC and cannabis. Like the only acceptance is not even a full portion of like medical patients.
0.03% Delta 9 THC.
Right.
And then the medical system they have is like
A very
restricted.
small select group of people can still get
It's
cannabis.
only like cancer, cerebral palsy,
Like the extreme
epilepsy.
cases.
Yeah.
Which is weird.
Yeah.
Because one, all the progress we're talking about, and two, like you said, Texas, I get it's a very red state.
Yeah.
But even that, it's a red state. There's a lot of weird blue spots within Texas too, which is confusing.
That's true too. Like
Austin's a very blue kind of area.
And it's not even that. It's just also, like I said, like that's, their whole motto is
Right.
personal freedom.
They're so freedom, they don't even want to be America.
Yeah.
They want to be their own country. They still think they are. I think a part of it is they're just so contrarian that they still want to just be their own nation. They still act like they're their own nation, even though that lasted for like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
That they do things like this to kind of make a personal stand of like, we're still the Lone Star State.
Yeah, and I can't tell because some of the things I read said that it got baked into a bill to reopen the government. Like they had a partial shutdown or something.
Okay.
And then this kind of got snuck in there.
Oh, they did it like on top. They
Yeah.
just while someone
It
was
was
getting,
part of the bill to open up the government, but
they just
then
threw it in the back end.
but then another article I read said that it was actually like a Texas, not Supreme Court, but Texas federal court opinion that changed it. So I'm not really sure who to
And it
believe.
recriminalized it to the point of like at a certain
It's
gram
heroin,
percentage,
yeah.
we're talking federal charges.
Yeah, it's a
like
felony.
over 2 ounces, I think,
I forget
is
what I read.
jail time and like felony, like you're getting prison charges.
Yeah. And even like trace amounts is like 180 days in jail or like a $10,000
Yeah,
fine.
it's like not even a full eighth amounts of flour.
Yeah.
You are getting hundreds of $1,000s of fines, jail time. It's like old draconian drug laws that are being re-implemented, which I don't understand because it's so anti science, medical science, political science, economic science, all evidence that comes out about when you get adult use into your area.
The taxes.
I would have thought that, look, I understand if you're not a believer or you don't like it, you're just old school, it's just not your thing, or even that like you have your own feelings about some of the research that comes out. You can't deny that it's at the very least worth letting people make their own decision about it.
Yeah, and that's like I kept saying, that's kind of their whole thing is that the government shouldn't tell you what you can and cannot do in your
ground
home.
laws and shit even.
Yeah, and then now they're going to tell you, but also like the economy that's popped up from this. You know, over the past couple of years, people have opened up a lot of businesses, and from what I heard, they'll probably have to take at least half of the things off the shelves.
Yeah, a lot of the inventory.
And
a lot
then
of these places.
how would that work? And if anything, it's actually creating a push, which is also a weird political move because if you're going to restrict it that much and you're going to harm the Texas economy, you're going to harm your constituents, and now your people who did agree with you but who were kind of using it on the side because they can't sleep or they got pain, which is a lot of our customers who aren't even really stoners. They're just like, I can't sleep. I don't know what to do anymore.
They're like, I can't deal with these side effects from all these pills that my doctor keeps prescribing.
So now you're alienating those people, and you're actually creating a bigger push for a larger bill to be introduced to make it federal, like to have federal guidelines. Because then once you have federal guidelines, you can't have a state like Texas do something crazy like this.
Exactly. That's why people get annoyed. Like, who cares about full refederalized, like, federalization changes like that? Just let the states do what they want. Well, until there's a federal precedent like that implemented, the states can just go back and forth, and they can create this whiplash within their own civilization.
And that's why, even here in Jersey, yes, it's legal, but banks are scared, and institutions are scared because look, the pot industry in New Jersey popped up. There's a lot of money in it right now, like going around interstate commerce wise. And it kind of scares people if a new governor could come in or
and just say,
a
hey,
bill could be
all
introduced.
of this industry that you guys are now relying on, nope.
Yeah, and it makes everyone a little uncomfortable because people build their lives around it. We've built our life around that. Can you imagine if we got an email tomorrow, like
you have to close your doors?
Everyone in New Jersey has to close their doors.
It's even been it's not quite the same thing because it was technically a legal gray area that just got solidified. But when it comes to like some of the CBD stores or like the people that are just, like, there were stores around in the area, even up in Jefferson, that were just straight up THC Delta 9 drink stores. Like that was their storefront. Was they just sold the drinks. That business isn't allowed to exist now.
Yeah, and even though they were kind of a competitor to us, it's still not right. We're like, you can just do that.
Yeah.
You
can just completely fuck up someone's life.
They were doing it legally under the rules of the Farm Bill, whether you agree with if that was right or wrong, but it was the law.
Yeah.
They could do it. And now you say you got to shut down and this business you've created, and that's why the fight is so hard, because then everyone gets scared. Banks get scared. It's already hard enough to find a bank that'll deal with you as a cannabis industry.
Oh my God, yeah. But then things like this, it's interesting. It's going to be interesting to see what happens in terms of like what we don't know is going on behind closed doors. Like maybe a JP Morgan was like that kind of level institution was starting to wrap their head around. Maybe we should think about rewriting the book. Maybe that was, we don't know, but maybe it was. But now
There
seen
was
something like that
news
happen.
of that happening when the what was it? When the reschedulization was coming
Right.
up. Rescheduled
in December when they announced.
Banks were starting to really heavily consider the cannabis sector. They were like seen not making moves, but like, you know, doing
Toying with the
toying
idea.
with the idea. And now it's like, well, now it just becomes another risk, like too big of a risk again, and it sets us
And it
back
really
a little
has, it's an assault on a lot of what certain states like New Jersey, even though it's kind of, it's always half-assed, kind of attempt to create out of, like the kind of culture they were trying to craft, the type of people they were trying to assist by propping up the cannabis institution, because it's this group of people who have been criminalized and ostracized and treated like the dregs of society. So much of like the licensing, minorities, women in business, people with a previous cannabis record,
Yep.
they were the ones who got their name bumped to the front of the list when the licensing was getting drawn out and they were making approvals.
Turn their
Those
life around,
people
and now-
were given this chance to finally hey, it's time to turn. And it's two pronged. One, financially, okay, this thing that I believed in, that I had a passion for, I can really do this in a legal, entrepreneurial way. There's that aspect of it, and it's the personal moral growth aspect of it, where you're starting to think, hey, maybe I'm not a piece of shit for liking to smoke weed. Maybe I'm not an asshole. Maybe I'm not a leech on society just because this is my recreational drug of choice, while for some reason alcohol has been permitted to be that for the rest of the world.
Yeah, and I mean,
And then to just take that away from them and say, no, you are a piece of
there's
shit.
not a lot of movies where the father is an abusive stoner. Or not a lot,
I don't even know how that would work. Some guy who's like sleepily.
Yeah. We actually had a cop come in the other day. She was buying some stuff. She was retired, but she even said, she's like, I was a cop for 35 years. Never had to like fight any potheads, you know?
No, it just doesn't breed that kind
I
of
never
personality.
had any aggressive potheads on the loose. Like,
It's such an introspective.
yeah.
It's such an inside, internal experience almost, that it doesn't have the same external manifestations that alcohol tends to breed. Like this kind of outside thinking, this ego growing. It's not an ego growing thing.
No.
It's more of an ego shrinking thing.
Yeah. It's good for like self-reflection, stuff like that.
So it's really, and look, maybe it's also a cascade effect of no term limits on.
Oh yeah.
On certain
I mean,
offices
there's a way deeper conversation we could get into
that
here
is causing this like.
that I'm trying really hard not to get into.
No, I know, but like maybe in a few years when those people finally have no choice but to give up their seat, because there are people in the Texas Senate who are at least running for office that are like saying this is incredibly unfair, and it's old. It's like dictatorship. It's like authoritarian. It's crazy.
I am excited for when our generation finally gets to like.
That's what I said. Like maybe we have to wait that long. I think we were all hoping that these people who are just fed this old story that wasn't ever true in the first place would come to their senses. But I guess that's not going to happen.
No.
As we're being shown. Sometimes we're lucky enough that we get that.
That's what Mitt Romney kind of said when he stepped down. Granted, he had to step down because his party turned his back on him. Because he refused to vote against Trump.
Yeah.
He said, I have a duty. You know, I made an oath before God when I got on this seat. He's like, I'm not going to betray that oath just because, like, I saw the facts.
Because of what are really bought interests.
Yeah, he was like, I saw the facts. But anyway, he said when he stepped down, like, I don't know what's going on anymore. Like, my grandkids showed me I'm out of touch. He said, it's time for the younger generation to, like, start to get involved. It's like, we don't know what's going on anymore.
It feels ego based because it's just a group of people who like, and I guess it's just kind of indicative to like that generation of people. Like it's a kind of selfish as a whole generation where like they have this ego about them of like, I built this is all mine, I'm not giving it up.
It's very hard to get some of those seats.
I'm not giving it. It's that attitude of like, this is I did this, I'm not giving this up. You have to watch.
Like, have you ever watched House of Cards?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're
maniacs.
Yeah.
Trying to get those seats.
And that's on like the recreational side of things, but even like beyond that, there's like medical aspects of this. Like there was one article that came out. Let me see if I can find this. It's about dementia patients, about the use of THC and CBD, and like the use and the value, because recently dementia research and like Alzheimer's research, a lot of those degenerative diseases, so much of the focus has been towards like preventative care.
Well, because it's almost impossible to like actually study.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the goal right now is to like keep it from happening.
Yeah.
That's like what all the research is
Once
on.
you have it, they're kind of like,
Exactly. So that's why this is exciting to see. Things that have been happening with certain substances like psilocybin, and now what we're seeing from, because THC, it is a slightly psychoactive substance.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
not quite as ego dissolving as like
Yeah.
psilocybin or LSD. So it's like basically having training wheels on in that regard, and that aspect of the experience of smoking. But it's shown great research to the people who have the disease, because there's this now group of the population, while everyone's trying to figure out how to keep it from happening to more people, there's still the people who have it and are living with it,
yeah.
and they have to go day to day, and their families have to go through day to day figuring out a way to get through another day of watching a loved one lash out, forget who they are, you're watching someone you loved. You are now all of a sudden this paternal figure to someone who's supposed to be your parent. You're in this weird, sooner than you in most cases expect it to be. Most of the time you're like, yeah, I'm gonna be changing dad's diapers eventually.
yeah.
That's like a 90-year-old person you're imagining in your head. In the cases where you're like someone whose family member is like 60, 55, and they have early onset dementia, you got to watch that happen then. And there's a lot of research that's coming out right now where the combination of THC and CBD is really helpful for that portion of the population.
I bet.
Like it's extreme, like especially in the cases of, because so often it causes this anger. Like it may have like a lot of like there's this aggravated dementia that a lot of people experience because they're almost. It's similar to like what you hear people describe when they have like CTE, where they're like.
I'll tell you what, I've hit my head a lot of times, and sometimes I do wonder, am I kind of grumpy all the time because?
Because it's almost like they're trapped in this body that's not working because their brain, from what research has done, they can tell like they're functioning. It's just the connectivity between that and the externalization,
frustration
this
feeling.
externalization of everything that's happening in their head isn't working. So they just get frustrated and they lash out, and it causes these like fits of almost temper tantrums and things like that. It's shown huge research and like huge benefits of people that have that kind of quality. There's some other substances that they're finding people who have the disease where there's some shocking evidence when it comes to like psilocybin and mushrooms,
it's
where
amazing.
like it kind of, you don't want to say it because it sounds like a miracle thing.
But it rewires.
It like brings them back kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's some treatments that they do where like they clean out the amygdala plaque in their brains, and like that's like treatments like that are showing like promise in like just slowing the progression. But there's some things you read that are coming out right now where it's like restorative.
Yeah.
It's like for
I
whatever
forget
reason.
how true it is, but a study did say that they almost saw like proof that the brain was like rewiring itself.
Well, I think it's to do
or
with
neurons were finally.
because I think it's to do with when you look at the brain under psilocybin. Because I recently read that book by Michael Pollan, How to Change Your Mind.
Okay.
I think they made a Netflix doc because of it. There's like areas of the brain, like when you just take a regular fully functioning brain and you examine it under the effects of psilocybin, it's like there's dark spots that are usually present in normal patterns, in like normal brainwave patterns. And when you take psilocybin, like those areas like light up in a way where they like spark, and because it's almost like if you think of it like a circle, there's a way the neurons like to talk to each other. Mostly the easiest way. So they just stick close to the boundaries. You go from this one to this one, and then what happens is these rarely talk to each other. Because they want to go to the nearest one. There's these weird things that happen when you keep that circle in mind. When you see a brain that's under psilocybin, it's like those neurons start like reaching out, like they reach across the circle occasionally. You know, it looks like that, where they like start talking to different areas of the brain. One area of the brain will start just all of a sudden like
I heard
randomly reaching
someone
out.
like describe it or kind of compare it to like stretching.
Yes.
Like your brain can finally like stretch a little bit, and like it's like physical therapy for your neurons in your brain.
Because it's actually interesting, like the patterns,
Mm-hmm.
like habits, they form from that pattern. The neurons get used to going that way
Yeah.
to perform that action or do that thing. And it even thickens like the sheathing of the nerve. It like actually gets thicker and thicker.
Yeah, it's like working out.
It actually becomes a stronger connection, which is how habits form. When you take psilocybin, it's almost like your brain, without that experience, like maybe you could. There are certain things people do, like transcendental meditation. People say it does this for them. Like it kind of achieves this, but it takes like to become a adept transcendental meditation. It's like a 10-year process to like get that good at it. It's like a crazy thing to get good at. It does that where the brain decides to stop doing that thing to get to that end point that same way, and it just starts randomly trying. It starts just trying new things in order to form those brain patterns. So when you introduce that to a brain that's experiencing that short form communication in the brain to an exponential degree, it starts just reawakening that old way of activating. And it seems, from what research is showing, to bring people back even after the effects of the drug wear off. That's the most important thing, is that once the brain gets re-triggered to start acting that way, it's almost like it starts remembering.
It remembers.
Even though the effects of the high wear off, that way of moving, it's like muscle memory. It starts trying that more often. And it starts kind of bringing the brain back and bringing the personality of the person back. It seems. It's again, a big problem is because it's still so restricted.
Yeah,
there's only so much access.
You can't toss around the word cure.
Well, not even that. There's only just so much access to research. That's one, like at the end.
Same thing with marijuana.
If you read at the end of all these articles, even the one I just cited, it's always footnoted with the doctors just explaining this is early trials. And progression is going to be very slow because we are so limited compared to like pharmaceutical access to resources. The resources that they have access to are so limited that like that's why
you can't run proper studies.
You can't run proper studies because the access to what you need to get the data is just so limited. That's why, luckily, psilocybin is in the same way. It's kind of experiencing this resurgence because
which I'm happy about because I've heard it like is really helpful for a lot of people.
And it was never, it's crazy, after reading this book you learn a lot of things. It was never because anything else than the LSD like breakthrough that happened in the 60s got tied to psilocybin because they're so similar. Because LSD is essentially, it was made as a inducing labor. That's why he made it. The guy who made LSD, he was trying to create a drug to induce labor, but there was this one compound he left on the shelf for like 15 years, and he just went back to the drawing board one day and he always thought like I kind of had faith in this particular compound. I'm gonna give this one a shot again, and it was LSD that we know today, and he accidentally got it on himself. I think on his hands.
Yeah.
Because LSD is transdermal; it goes through the skin. And he was driving his bike home, and he started. It's the only ever uninfluenced LSD trip ever, because no one had acid didn't exist.
He had no idea.
Which is crazy because set and setting is so important when it comes to a psychedelic experience. Like the setting, obviously where you are, but the intention going in, and the influence into the trip.
Yeah.
That's the only trip ever that was completely
no bias in your head or
unbiased, unanticipated.
That's crazy. Did he write down his experiences?
I can't remember. It happened at 420, which
Really?
is why that's the only thing I can think of why 420 is on 420 and
I hope
what it
he
has to
wrote.
do.
I'd like to actually read that if he wrote down what it was like.
But in that time, it was coming out. It was also getting this medical attention for like the possible, because it conceived as a medical drug. And one guy, because people were having these breakthrough experiences, like this positive, ego-dissolving, rewiring, transcendental like experiences that were very beneficial. And this one guy took it, and he had this calling in his head that this needs to go to everybody needs to experience this. And he just started handing out acid to just the whole world. And some people didn't react well to that.
Yeah, no.
And it scared politicians. And
Like,
it went
I
underground.
wouldn't even do acid.
And it went underground, and then it became LSD and psilocybin and psychoactive
I
compounds.
would do mushrooms. I wouldn't do
And
acid.
psychoactive compounds as a whole got ostracized in this way until recent times. Around 2016 is when it really started kicking back up again, which is, you know, and that's where. But now we're seeing, obviously, you know, that wasn't true. Some people shouldn't take acid, obviously.
No, absolutely not. Just like some people shouldn't smoke weed. If
Exactly.
you have schizophrenia, please don't come smoke weed.
No, but that goes for any. If I don't know why pot's the only thing that gets thrown. I don't think you drink either. I don't think you should drink.
Oh,
no.
no.
That's the thing. I don't think if you have that loose of a grasp on reality, you shouldn't be doing anything.
No, if you have a serious mental disorder, then
stay
you should
away
be
from anything that takes you out of your already
whatever your doctor prescribes, and that's it.
right. And even then, like sometimes they miss, and it's like because people go through like a whole roller coaster trying to find the right medication when it comes to stuff. Even for us, when all we have is like anxiety and depression, we didn't have our shit together in terms of like the right meds for
No, and I probably still don't.
for a long time.
Yeah, I'd like to try something else.
Well, because it's always a
eventually.
balance, and that's the other thing when you think about pot as a medical application for it. When it comes to treating something, you're always it's never all good.
No, yeah.
You never, there's no med that just nails it. You're always just weighing the good and the bad. We take Lexapro because for us, it does enough for us, and
Yeah, sure, it makes me really tired.
exactly. The list of side effects had it's not quite invasive enough.
But I can get out of bed and
Exactly.
I can
It's not quite detrimental to my day to day. So I can live with this one.
I'll drink some coffee.
Exactly. Same thing with pot.
Yeah, and I know some days too for pot. Listen, not that I've done like a ton of drugs, but I feel like a lot of people would say this. There's some strains of pot that hit you harder than like a trip, like a mushroom trip.
Oh my
You know what I mean?
I smoked that Autobahn perp.
Yeah.
That we got from
there's
Pip
some
Coast.
highs on pot that you're just like, I just got to ride this out.
Oh yeah. That's why I always tell people like you can be if you are the right personality, you can use pot and you could just be a journeyman. Like you can just fucking go on a long walk. You can take your fucking walking stick and you can just go down the mental rabbit hole and you can have some conversations with yourself if you want to. But also not even just if you want to, if you're the type of person who's capable of doing that. I know there's people I know, they might smoke a little bit. They can't smoke the way I smoke.
Yeah.
Because one, I'm used to it, even when you do get in those periods where like...
But I bet you they probably done like Molly whenever they go to a rave and they'll do this and that.
But like, it's like a very unique world-ending feeling sometimes.
It's almost not that. I was going to say like ego death, but it,
That's what it's
but it
like,
gets close.
That's what I mean in terms of like, it's like psilocybin on training wheels in that aspect of it. Because when you do have such a low tolerance and you get to that bordering, like with edibles sometimes, edibles is the closest you can get in terms of like
just start thinking about yourself.
Like a psychedelic experience in terms of just using pot. But that's what I mean when it's like training wheels. Like you still have your facilities, you still can like...
And you can do something to calm yourself down.
Exactly, you're not gone.
If it's happening on mushrooms, you're
You're
on the
ride.
ride.
You're strapped into the roller coaster and you're not getting off till it's done.
No.
Especially with things like DMT. DMT is like you can pitch a fit, but it's just going to make this worse for you.
I had a friend who would at least once a year he would do enough DMT to like where you pass
Have like
out.
the breakthrough experience.
The breakthrough experience, and he said like his worst one was from like in real life it only lasted 15 minutes.
He's only about this one.
Yeah, in real life it only lasted 15 minutes, but in the experience, it's like life started from that point. He took it. He lived his whole life. He finished college, had a family, and it was like all real time. He's like, I lived another 40 years. I had a wife, children. I was on a ski trip and I fucking hit a tree and died. I woke up, I was back in my college dorm.
See, it's hearing stories like that that tell me
I don't want.
I shouldn't take DMT.
No, and I was
Because
like,
if that happened to me, it would probably break me.
Yeah, I'd be like, I had a whole family. What are you talking about?
But I don't think people shouldn't be allowed to try DMT.
You don't think people should be allowed?
No, I think people shouldn't be stripped of their choice.
Yeah, if you want to, like, he loved that is his thing.
Like, I'm positive I wouldn't like DMT.
Yep.
I don't know why some people have that thought. They think that means so no one else should either.
No, like me too. I couldn't do that.
No.
That would freak me the fuck out. Even like little bits of mushrooms, I'm like, I like to always know I can be in control if I have to be.
Right.
You know? But that's his thing. Once a year, he does nothing that whole day. He's not a dangerous person.
Right.
He's the smart kid I told you about that could study on the way to a final.
Oh yeah.
He had like a photographic memory.
That pisses me off.
And he could walk to class and just flip through his notes from the whole year, and then just go take the final and get a 98. So he was a smart kid. He was a chemistry and biology major, but once a year he just wanted to take some DMT and live another 40, 60 years.
That seems to be like a trend.
Yeah.
With people.
When you're that smart, you need to escape.
They like it's like the old trope of like the tortured drunk, like the alcoholic genius.
This kid was kind of like
the
that.
tortured genius.
Like he was his own worst enemy. Yeah.
Adam knew a guy like that in high school. My friend Adam, he went to Johns Hopkins because Adam's a smart guy.
Yeah, Adam's smart.
Very smart. But I mean, it's Johns Hopkins. Like you're amongst some like top percentile of the population smart people.
Yeah.
He knew one guy who was like, he said he would wake up, drink. He was a genius, but he couldn't be sober.
This kid too. This kid actually was dabs. He really liked dabs. But he would he was obsessive about it. He always had to be dabbing. He would knock on our door at 4 a.m. be like, someone come dab with us. And I'm like, I'm gonna kill you.
You gotta relax.
And I'd go do it, and I'd go back to bed.
Want to be a good friend.
Yeah. I want to be
I don't want to be
And it was
rude.
freshman year of college.
I don't want to be rude.
Freshman year of college, someone wakes you up at 4 a.m. to take a dab. You're gonna go take a dab.
If you say no, you start talking to yourself. Like, the fuck's wrong with
I
you?
know. Yeah. But and he was that and same thing, like when we would get drunk, we would get drunk. This kid was a maniac. He made the jungle juice
The riot juice?
He made the jungle juice that had little Mike Smith lost in New Haven.
Oh, he liked walking. Was that Mike, the one who just like going on
kid,
walks?
Yeah, he was.
He did that when they stayed at our house once.
Yeah.
He just went outside and just started walking around the neighborhood at like 4. And Luce was like, what the fuck is he doing?
Yeah, we were like, Mike's dead. And then at 4 a.m. he kicked in the door and he just goes, I bought drugs. And then he fell on the couch and went to bed. He found his way home. But
the craziest thing, it's not like whenever they go out of the roller coaster of being addicted, like they realize how exhausting it was. But the fact that those people can do that and like technically function in society,
yeah,
that's the shocking thing.
This kid, yeah, like
that's what's shocking is like when you learn that about people, they're like, oh, I've been doing this also.
Like
on
this
top
kid
of
was so smart. He took dabs and like, not that it's like rocket science, but with our Keurig from college and then like some milk, he made like an infused hot chocolate and then infused the peppermint bark with THC. And we all drank it before class one day. And I've told you this story, but he's like, we'll drink it. Our class is only an hour. We'll come home. It was like a Thursday, so we were going to go out that night. It's like, and then we'll party. And I drank it before class. It tasted just like hot chocolate. But like, I don't know how he did it. He was like, this kid was a genius, but you felt it like go throughout your entire body.
Yeah, the tremors.
Yeah.
You get the tremors almost.
Like it's like your whole body,
waves.
your whole body warmed up immediately. Nice. And then I was sitting in my first calculus class. It was like 10 minutes into class. And I was like, my eyes feel really heavy. I was like, I feel really high right now. So I turned to ask my friend next to me if I was high. And the second we made eye contact, he went, and I just went, no. I just went, no.
That's really, you both saw it in each other?
Well, it was actually my friend who didn't. We all had separate classrooms. So it was my buddy Seamus who lived in the other building. I turned to him to ask him like, hey, like be chill, but do I look high right now? And the second I turned to him, he went, what the fuck, Cole?
Oh, you looked,
I could, my whole
I thought you
face.
mean like you both, it hit you both at the same time. You mean you looked so high.
He was like, bro, your face is melting. I was literally
That's
like.
the wrong reaction.
And it was like my first calculus class. You know I hated math back then. Like I got anxiety, but that calculus class actually is when the flip happened.
You learned to love math.
Yeah, I learned to love math because I was failing, and it's the same thing with weed. Like I said, I've been hitting the head a lot. You know that.
Oh, yeah.
I've had probably 5-6 concussions in my life, but like actual ones. And even then in college, I probably still had like 4 or 5. But like math just didn't click in my head, and I needed to take calculus for econ, or else I was fucked.
Calculus sucks.
And I was failing by midterms, and that kid came with the dabs. I was doing my homework. I was like, I'm done. I'm just gonna have to drop out. And he came in and he's like, stop being a pussy. Just take a dab. Like, he's like, you already can't do it. What's the difference if you try to do it high? And I smoked, and all of a sudden, I was like the Zach Galifianakis gif with the numbers in his head. I was like, this makes sense to me. And I could only do calculus when I was ripped, and I ended up with a B in the class when I was failing at midterms.
There you go. I'll take that.
Yeah, But I can only do that level of intense math when I'm baked.
I mean, it's an observational study. It's very low-level science. But, I mean, I think that's some good starting points for us to go forward and see if it is a performance-enhancing drug in that way. I mean, there are, honestly, sports bodies that are looking at it in that way.
Yeah.
CBD and THC are showing such good, like...
Have you played hockey high yet?
No, and I love playing the drums high.
Playing hockey when you're high? I played street hockey with Sean, and it was when I was still at the animal hospital. Yeah. And if I could smoke before a game, I was like Duncan Keith as a defenseman, just back there clearing pucks, sending stuff up. But then if I didn't, I was too in my own head that like I'm, fumbling the ball and everything.
Well, I'll never play men's league hockey.
No.
It's fucking depressing. Oh my god. You like men's league hockey?
I don't.
Beer league? Those fucking washed up 45-year-olds?
We had some good experiences, like for the most part, because it was also a co-ed league. So it was like guys and girls, it was like a lot, because it was street hockey. So you didn't have to have all the equipment and everything. So you had a lot of people who like weren't great and all that. There was one team that like one of our teammates got in a fight with one game. But that's also just hockey. There's some, they did a study about hockey. There's something about the no out of bounds.
The rink.
Yeah, since there's no out of bounds,
octagon.
It does something psychologically. It does, though.
Yeah. It's just so sad. We played after college.
That league was pathetic.
It made me so depressed. I mean, because we tried to make it fun, and I don't think Sean liked it. Sean Silvernagel, he ran the league. I think he hated that Adam and Dom and I did this, and Matt Kane. We would get so drunk because one, it was the only way I could tolerate it because it made me so fucking depressed. But one time, Adam was so drunk. Adam was so fucking drunk once. It was after the period, the buzzer sounded, and Adam had the puck at the goal at the top of the circle. And he didn't know what happened, and he just ripped a shot after the fucking period ended, and the whole team just descended on him. And he did not know what happened. He was looking around like, what?
I had to fucking Dominic did the same thing, and then I had to get in the fight because of Dominic.
But that's so funny.
It's funny.
That's so funny.
But that's why it's fun to do it.
Because Sean got all mad at us.
He would even Matt Aramian. I love Matt Aramian, but some guy was talking shit to me.
No, they're such sweaty butt nerds.
Like one guy sucker punched me in that league.
That's what made me depressed.
I was just we argued like a little bit because he checked me, so I kind of like gave it back, and I was like, oh, we're just puck battling. Like, there's no checking, but I'm puck battle.
I'm not a 45-year-old
And then he like
child.
started punching me, so we both got penalties. And I forgot about it. I was like, whatever. I go, okay, you're being dramatic. And then we both got penalties. I come back out. I'm just skating to the face-off dot. I forget it even happened. I didn't even know he was coming my direction because I forgot the dude existed. He sucker punched me in the gut. And like I got the breath knocked out of me. The only person that came to my defense was Matt Kane. Matt Kane jumped on the guy. And Matt Kane jumped on the guy, and he was like, what the fuck? Who do you think you're... And Matt Aramian was like, that's what you get for being a dick. I was like, I'm your teammate, dude.
Yeah, what is this?
I don't know. He got mad that I got the penalty, but then Dominic at one point cross-checked the guy. I don't know if you remember that. Yeah. And the guy got up and jumped on Dominic. And Matt Aramian was standing right next to him, and he's just watching Dominic get his ass beat.
Well, Dominic's like a fucking...
Yeah, but
monster when he gets on the ice.
But he was
Dom's
getting his
such
ass beat.
Dom's such a weird, awkward personality. I love him so much.
Oh, I love him.
But then he would step on the ice and he'd just become a
He's a completely different person.
A fucking lunatic.
He's a completely
It's like
different
weird.
person
It's
when
like
he plays
kind of
hockey.
like you must need psychiatric help.
Oh my God.
Because this is like a different guy.
No,
but then
he
that's
is
what. But you see,
insane.
that's why I don't do men's league because it's so fucking.
You
I'm
gotta
not
do
getting
it
a
high.
lifelong injury because some dickhead on the other team's mad that he's working where he's working and his wife's a fucking bitch.
That's true.
So he's taking it out on me on the ice. I don't give a fuck.
We did used to chirp that. You used to chirp them so
I would
bad.
say that to them. One guy I watched, I think it was he leveled you, or I had to like fight with him to keep him off me because I just didn't participate. Even if they came at me, I was like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
So something like that was going on, and I just looked. He was like, I remember him pointing at me and saying something, and I go, "You're a fucking 45-year-old man. You probably have a wife and kids at home, and you're out on the ice acting like a fucking child. You should."
I had to pull that guy off Dom, and I go, "Would you?" I go, "Look at yourself." He was like, he looked like he sold insurance. I go, "Look at yourself. You're beating up a fucking kid." And he's like, "He should learn not to run his mouth." And then I look at Matarami and I'm like, "But you're just gonna watch him get beat up?"
And I think it was after that game, I was like, I'm not doing this anymore.
No.
Because then that would happen. It'd make me depressed about that guy's life is what it is. It just made me sad to think about it. And then you start thinking, Jesus, then you become, because eventually you just become that guy.
See, I am the opposite, where I look at that and I go, "You know what? That's a good lesson. I got to make sure I
don't
never become
him.
that.
Don't become him.
No matter what happens in my life,
I'm a washed up fucking loser.
no
at
matter
men's
what
league.
happens in my life, where I am in life, at least always self-reflect and go, hey, you know, it's not that serious."
That's a gay. I mean, I had that attitude in fucking varsity high school.
So did I.
I didn't give a fuck.
But
Every time we lost, I laughed. I had
Yeah.
a good time. And McDonough and David hated me.
I know.
Or
I know,
Dan.
because you
I
guys
said
used
David.
to do that with fucking Mark, too, and he used to kick our ass because
He
of
called
it.
me Goldberg. Goldberg.
I'll never forget the one time we were driving back from, like, getting Mercy ruled.
We would get mercied so often.
And you and all your buddies up front, Dominic, Adam, all those guys, you're yucking it up.
We loved it.
And me and Cooper were looking at
loved
it.
it.
Me and Cooper were looking at each other like, fucking A.
We were just getting the option too, man.
And then
That's why we were there.
we pulled into the parking lot. And he's like, "You're so lucky. Your parents are here right now. Because I would make all you little fuckers sprint in your suits."
You see, it's funny. After the game, it was like nothing ever happened. When I'm in goal and we're getting fucking shelled and it's
Oh,
like
it's the worst.
that many goals on me, I would get cranky. And I would like yell at like Adam or like Dominic and be like, "You're fucking leaving the back door wide open like that." And I would get angry in the moment. But then right after it, I'd be like, "You're a fucking loser."
Well, that's
I would
why-
just get mad at myself.
But yeah, that's why hockey's a good sport, I think, for people to play. Because, like, I mean, me and Sean even have battled it out on the ice, you know. I had to pull him off a kid once. I thought he was going to start swinging on me. But then, like, as soon as the game's done, it's just like,
Look, hockey's just one of those sports. It's just
weird.
the atmosphere.
Oh, it's
on
crazy.
the ice and off.
I've been
It's
madder.
just so electric.
I've been madder on that sheet of ice than I've been in my entire life
Just
sometimes.
not even mad. It's just such a.
It gets your blood
Even
like,
like when you're watching a game, you just get such an emotionally, even like positively emotion.
Oh,
it's
playoff
so
hockey.
Electric. The
watching
atmosphere
playoff
is.
hockey is like, it's the closest thing you get to like an actual like
Oh,
playing again, and you're like,
You feel it in your
oh
bones.
my god, it's insane.
Feels awesome. That's why
does feel good.
none compares to live hockey.
Oh no,
Especially
no
if-
sport.
I've never been to a playoff hockey game. That must be live.
Yeah,
Have you ever been?
I don't think I've ever been to a playoff game. No.
That must be fucking.
Oh, I can't imagine.
We'll never experience it because, well, I won't because I'm a Devils fan, and I think we got a good 15 years until we're old enough to get to the playoffs.
it got mismanaged so bad.
We're too young. Even if
Too young.
even without the right coach, we
Too
don't have
young,
the,
but-
to be in the playoffs in the NHL.
Not
you have to be
even-
physical.
Yeah, not even young, but like not big. Young, small
That's what I mean.
guys.
Like Hughes, I mean, I think they should just let Hughes take steroids.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if he was juicing,
It
let's
is.
see how much of a freak we can
It would
make.
be for his own health. He's so small.
He's too small.
He's so small.
It's like how certain UFC fighters can go on TRT.
Yeah.
It's like technically
It's
you
almost
should.
dangerous.
Yeah.
Because there's been smaller guys in the NHL, but they're stocky.
Right.
Jack
He's
Hughes
so
looks.
frail.
Yeah, Jack Hughes.
But then he's doing shit like getting hurt off the ice, like he's at a fucking dinner and he hurts his hand and he's out for half the season. I'm
Yeah.
like, what the fuck are you doing?
that was heartbreaking too, because the Devils were actually like, you guys were
That was
starting to get
it.
things turned
We were like
around.
third in the league
Yeah.
until like December.
But that's also the problem. You can't. One guy can't.
No, it can't just be Hughes. I
can't
mean,
be your
Heischer
whole
was.
team.
I mean, Heischer's. No, I don't think he's captain. I don't
Like,
know why
have you seen the Capitals roster this year?
Not other than just the standard.
It's the best and offensive roster in the NHL.
Really?
We signed Alex Tuck, Jordan Kyrou, Ovi's coming back, which I'm like, meh.
Yeah.
But
His wife made him do it.
yeah,
That's great.
but we have a line. Our third line: Wilson, Alexei Protas, and his brother Ilya Protas. Ooh. The whole line together is like almost 800 pounds, and they're all above 6'4".
Just putting 3 fucking gorillas on the ice.
It's just 3 gorillas that can score, and it's
And then you have
insane.
the old veteran gorilla on the bench.
And then you got
ready to
Ovi.
get on the fucking ice.
They got
He's got
Ovi.
great hair.
All they got to do is put him right in that spot. He doesn't have to skate.
Ovechkin is really like an old Soviet experiment or something.
There's
He's
something
like a creature.
They had him on a. He finally did a podcast, like a full podcast with somebody, and they asked him. They were like, "When you broke your leg, is it true you were skating again in 3 months?" He's like, 2.
He told them
With
when
a broken fibula.
He told them after the first month that he didn't hurt himself again.
Yeah. No,
That's the great thing about hockey players too. They're fucking lunatics. They're psychos.
and I've played through some shit, but a broken leg.
Wasn't it Stamkos? He had like a broken femur,
He had a broken
half
femur.
the playoffs
Patrice
one year?
Bergeron played with a punctured lung.
and he just
had
didn't
to
tell,
get-
he didn't tell anybody until they got knocked out of the playoffs. Mm-hmm. He got knocked out of the
You
playoffs.
can't, otherwise they
and
won't
he
let you
was
play.
like, I have a broken femur. Mm-hmm. A femur is like the most painful break you can get.
That's what I don't get about these guys, because like I like to think I'm tough. I don't think I'm walking with a broken femur.
I don't know how you can.
I don't physically. How can you?
Like it's the structural
It's broken.
bone. If it's broken, it might have been a fracture. It might have been reported as a
Still.
break.
Even Ovi, they never even put him in a cast. The worst they put him in was a walking boot the day after it happened.
Can't contain it.
And they said they saw him walking around the facility like 2 days after it happened or something.
You can't contain. You can't strap down Russian pride. That's what it is.
The man's a maniac.
He is the hammer and sickle. He really is. He that's what he is. He's a fucking monster. He really is an absolute freak of nature. Like you hear that get tossed around. Even the way he looks is crazy. He's like looks wide.
He's like fatter than me. Have you seen him?
He looks like Wilson Fisk.
He's got a dad bod and like.
And he's still out there fucking ripping it. He's crushing it.
He's insane. It really needs to be studied one day when it's all said and done.
Yeah,
I love the dude. He's the funniest
They
guy.
gotta
in the
bottle
planet.
him up and repackage him and sell him for a price. Holy shit.
Just to get his blood at least.
Other thing we should talk about is this is a little behind the scene, like Family Matters type shit. The Cochran clan went to the theater because it was Lucia's birthday, the 31st, July 31st. So we went to see that week. I think it was Sunday we went.
Yeah.
Because that's the only day we're off.
The only day we have
that's
off.
the only day we can do anything. And we went to see the Odyssey. First of all, I fucking loved it. How did you? I haven't asked you. What do you feel about the Odyssey?
I thought like as a movie, it was awesome. I do always hate every time with Christopher Nolan, the little drone he's got going the whole movie sound wise, because it just like I got a weird brain and it like overstimulates me and I can't like pay attention.
Well, it's not even the drone. He's terrible at mixing his fucking movies. I mean, that's a consistent criticism of his that I agree with. I mean, look, I'm not gonna sit here and tell Christopher Nolan how to do his fucking job. He's fucking.
I'm sure he has
clearly pretty. He knows what he's doing.
And I don't like it for the same reason that he does it. Is because it gets my emotions like going. And
it's like the theme that they came up with for the Joker in the Dark Knight. That like stringing, just like the screeching of like the violin. That like is like there's no tune pattern to it. It's just chaotic.
He's always got a chaotic feeling drum.
While he's talking, it just makes you kind of like crawl out of your skin.
Like I don't like it, but
that's why he's doing
he does it. Yeah,
that's what makes him a great director, a great filmmaker. But like, he doesn't know how to fucking mix audio.
No.
I mean, Oppenheimer was like this. We saw it in theaters. There were moments where I was like looking for the subtitles because I was like, I don't know what just happened.
I even tried to rewatch it, and even in some of the scenes where they're just in the interrogation room.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't fucking hear what they're saying.
Based on how he's looking and how he's reacting, that I was supposed to feel from that. I don't know what he said. I don't know what just happened.
No.
That happened a couple times in the Odyssey.
Yeah.
It was mostly this, and it's mostly the scenes where it's like not an action moment. So there's not a lot that should be drowning it out. It was like the scenes where Telemachus was talking to Penelope. Like Tom Holland was talking to Anne Hathaway, and you're like, what? What did she just say to him?
Even in the loudest scene in movie history, when they stabbed the Cyclops in the eye, the Cyclops is saying important things.
Yeah, he's saying, I'm the son of Poseidon.
Yeah.
He's saying,
He's telling
you just made a mistake.
Yeah.
Well, that was the one thing I disagreed. The one criticism I have of like the adaptation of it.
There was
is
not
that
enough
moment,
mention about...
Because one, I guess it's because it's one of my favorite moments in like Greek mythology is the interaction between the Cyclops and Odysseus.
Yeah.
But
it's a very important interaction.
In the actual epic poem, they have a conversation.
And it sets up a lot about Odysseus at that time where he's very arrogant.
Well, that was
self-centered.
the entire performance from Matt Damon that I didn't like. Which was there was no.
He was always the same Odysseus.
He was very wooden.
Yeah, he was the same Odysseus the whole time.
Because even like he does the storytelling technique where he jumps from like the burning of Troy back to now, and then back to the Odyssey, and then back to now. But when you finally get to the end and you witness him walking through Troy as it's burning, the performance tells you he already regrets this.
Yeah.
He doesn't like that he is the one who came up with the idea that caused Troy to burn.
Yeah.
In the poem, that's not the... In the poem, he comes out of Troy.
He is...
And he's like,
I'm
the hero of the Trojan War. I'm the one who came up with the horse.
I did what Achilles couldn't do.
And it's almost important to the theme of the Odyssey because that's why he's so anti-God, is because he's anti the gods, because he thinks, I don't need the gods, I'm a genius.
Like everyone thought Achilles was like a demigod.
Right.
He did what Achilles couldn't do.
Exactly.
Like he is, and the scene with the Cyclops in the book is very like, he is
arrogant.
An arrogant
He goes in, he's
asshole.
expecting a gift. It's not quite at... Reading it today, it seems like he walks into this guy's house and wants a gift.
Yeah.
It's the same
was
reason.
the thing.
It's the same reason Zeus's law in the movie that they can't kick out the suitors is because back then Zeus's law dictated you have to give your guests a gift, you have to treat them well, you're not allowed to kick them out unless they do something to wrong you. And he just walked in assuming that this thing adhered to Zeus's law, which was his mistake.
And even taunting it and stuff, you know.
He came in and he was like drinking their wine. He was drinking the Cyclops' wine. He was eating his food. And then when the Cyclops came home, he was like, where's my gift? We're just sitting here enjoying your stuff.
Yeah.
Where's the gift for me? And then the Cyclops starts getting his crew. But then they have a conversation.
They have a whole thing.
Where he says, my name is Nobody. There's the whole Nobody thing. The other Cyclops has come. And
Which
he says,
people
Nobody
have even
blinded me.
Even people have used that as like a philosophical, like that scene as a philosophical.
And then even after that,
situation.
he has and it's when he's leaving, he tells the Cyclops, I want you to know who really blinded you. I'm Odysseus. I'm the hero of the Trojan War. Let the gods, whoever your god is, know Odysseus blinded you. And then he goes and prays to his dad, Poseidon.
And that's what fucks up his whole journey.
And that's why he can't get home for 10. That's why I didn't agree with that part of the adaptation, because it's the reason the Odyssey happens.
It's quite literally.
It's the reason the whole story happens. Yeah. And when it's just...
At least that was my interpretation of it from reading it. No, that's how I studied it. Yeah.
That's why it took him 10 years to get home.
Yeah.
Because the whole time Poseidon was mad at him.
And Zeus could only help him when he was on land. But everywhere he landed...
And then by the time he lost his whole crew, Zeus finally stepped in and said, this guy suffered enough.
Yeah.
You're good. That kid you don't even care about is all right now.
But they do even mention it in the movie.
But the way they mention...
That Poseidon won't let him go home. But like I said, because it was so fucking loud, you can't... And he did that effect on the thing's voice.
Yeah, you can't hear a fucking thing. But then
he's saying.
This pissed me off. This is like a... It was kind of weirdly cheap for Nolan to do this, for who he is. He's Christopher Nolan. He probably could have come up with a more elegant way to do this. They just run away. And it's weird. There's this conflict in the movie where the adaptation is like in conflict with this new interpretation of Odysseus, but he still kind of does some of the random things that old Odysseus...
Like he turns around and shoots him with the bow.
The Cyclops. Like, that's kind of against everything he's been doing so far.
Yeah,
that's kind
he
of
always
weird.
warns everybody.
Yeah, that's kind of strange. But...
like if that's how you're going to show that he was arrogant at that point, it's not coming across.
That's really random.
Yeah.
And then they stab him in the cave, but then the Cyclops just mumbles. I don't even think he's actually speaking English in that moment, because
I don't think
I didn't get any coherent word out of anything.
Oh, you mean in the
when
movie?
When he's like on the side and they're talking, and Matt Damon says, "What?" They say, "How come he didn't say anything before?" And then Matt Damon, the movie's explanation is what Odysseus says, which is, "Do you talk to ants?"
Yeah.
which is like, oh, okay, clever line, and it's a very Odysseus smart thing to say.
But I thought in the book his quote it was more like, do you negotiate with an ant before you like step on it?
But even then, like, it's not like, how come he was talking before. In the book, they've been having a conversation. And then they get on the boat, and once they're on the boat, right after they're leaving, someone in the crew just goes, that was the son of Poseidon.
Yeah, like, why does that guy know that? Why does that random soldier know that?
Like, that thing's not a son of a god. And then they just keep talking. And then I'm like, I'm in the theater thinking, how did you get that? I couldn't hear a fucking word that thing was saying. I don't even think it was speaking English.
Yeah.
I get there was the scene before where, like, they're translating with those foreigners. And, like, there's a translator there. Maybe he's speaking some ancient Greek dialect that they don't know and only he knows. Maybe. But even still, that's a very...
No, because I did
That's like I can see he was like in the writing room and they said, oh, we just walked away from the Cyclops and we don't know that he's the son of Poseidon.
I heard someone say that they did hear the Cyclops say, like, when he was screaming, I'm the son of Poseidon. I'm
Father of Poseidon, he blinded me.
But, like,
I couldn't hear a fucking thing. There's no way they could hear it.
I don't know. Because
he's just like mumbling under its breath to itself.
Yeah.
That was one thing that was really weird. But other than that,
it's also very important for like his character arc, because by the time he does get home, he just wants he just wants to be home.
Yeah, he just wants to go home.
Yeah, he's so stripped of all his like ego, and like he doesn't just run into his house and say like, I'm Odysseus, which that guy who left Troy. No, that guy who left Troy, Odysseus, would have just marched back.
Exactly.
And
if he hadn't gone through the Odyssey, he would have died. He would have gotten murdered the second he got home.
Yeah, absolutely. But they don't. That doesn't.
And it was just that was the. I mean, sounds like I'm being critical of the Odyssey. I loved the movie. It was great.
It was a great movie.
But that's why there's just these one moments that like I don't know why you did that. Everything else was so good. I don't think that needed to happen. But it was like that moment was weird. And then the only other thing was just Matt Damon's. And I guess it's just Nolan's interpretation of Odysseus for modern times. It just didn't work for me. It just felt weird. It gave him nowhere to go for the whole movie. Like, he's been the same guy the whole time.
Yeah.
Like, he never... It's because the important thing about the Odyssey is it's
not just a physical journey.
It's like a stoic lesson of like
it's not just a physical journey.
You can go through life making these mistakes and suffering all these things because of your actions, or you can learn from Odysseus and learn to avoid that way of being, being egotistical and being arrogant, and choose the stoic.
Getting all his men killed.
Exactly. When that core aspect of it's stripped away, it's just weirdly like random chance.
Yeah.
You're really just watching the unluckiest guy in the world. It's all you're really watching. You're just watching a guy suffer because the gods have a grudge against him.
Like, that's why he has them strap him, to the mast at the sirens.
Yeah, he's egotistical. He's like, I want to be the guy, the only human being, the only man to ever gone through the sirens and know what they sound like and live to tell the tale. Which is why it's weird and also in the Odyssey, it's interesting because it's just, he's one of the most interesting characters because he's of all the other heroes, he's not a demigod.
Yeah.
He's just
a man.
And he needs to use his intellect to get out of situations. Yeah. It was like an actual, because where the sirens are located, they're right in those cliffs where Scylla and Charybdis are located. So, and it's like foggy. Yeah. It's supposed to be hard to see. So one of the main reasons, like, yes, a part of him wanted to hear the sirens, which is why he didn't earplug himself. But it's also because he needed to be able to hear when they were clear of the rocks.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Like he had to actually be there to let them know, one, when they cleared the sirens, so that he could tell everybody else, all right, take the wax out of your ears. Because otherwise they wouldn't have never been able to see them. It's just weird when that's another weird confliction with this version of Odysseus where he's like, I'll be the one guy to do it. It was like, you shouldn't care.
And I felt like that scene happened really quick.
It was very
fast.
They got through the sirens in like under 45 seconds.
Yeah, it was like so quick, but like it like almost rips his soul apart listening to him in the book.
Robert Pattinson fucking nailed it.
He was cool.
He fucking that guy's doing great
except for like at the end when they're dropping all the things down. He's like,
swords, get the swords.
Yeah, now the spears.
That was funny.
It was funny.
He just becomes the guy who's just like telling you what's happening in front of you.
But it shows what a coward he is.
He's a bitch. Yeah. He's a big old bitch the whole time. That's what's great about his performance.
I forget at the end, does he slaughter everyone in the book at the end? Yeah, I thought so.
He reveals himself to be Odysseus. And it's not even as hard as it was in the movie.
Yeah, I remember.
He just fucking easily murders everybody.
Mm-hmm. Cuts them down.
And then he does live, and then he does go in exile with Penelope and all that.
Yeah.
The movie was great. It was funny. It's always funny when Luke and Dan go to the movies because they're so used to being on the couch.
Oh, yeah.
And we like kind of have like the peanut gallery going when we're watching shit. They kind of don't know how to not do that.
No.
So there'll be moments, especially because me with movies, like I'm so, I spurg so hard. Like someone sneezes behind me, I almost stand up and I'm like, would you get the fuck out of here? It's like Trump. You know that video of Trump who's like, if you're going to cough.
Yeah, yeah.
If you're going to cough, leave the room. I'm like that in the movie theater. And they'll fully just start like talking to me while we're watching the movie in the theaters. Like Dan, like he'll make like funny comments. He'll be like nudging me. At one point, I like shushed him. I gave him a shush. It was like Always Sunny, and I gave him a shh, and he went, oh. It's like you guys can't just have a conversation with each other with people around us. Because I heard people like shuffling, like, are these people fucking serious?
Really?
I was like, oh my god, it's because I'm so serious.
Yeah.
There was a whole breaking of tradition when we were at the movies. You guys. You even did this. You guys are such fucking rookies. We went in the movie theater and they immediately, it's like, guys, we got to eat beforehand. You don't buy the movie theater food. Yeah. It's too expensive. Like that's 101 going to the movies.
Hey, the popcorn chicken, gotta say though, that's why I picked it. $8.
That's still stupid expensive.
Stupid, but yeah.
That's like Face Jam, the Popeyes chicken. They spend $7 on chicken that they didn't get. That's ridiculous. But they're waiting for mom's like, I'm gonna get this, I'm getting a hot dog, I'm getting that, I'm gonna get waters. No, 2 waters. And you know what? And she does the thing where she orders at restaurants where she like makes her own thing. She like doesn't actually use the menu. She's just like, I'm gonna get that. Yeah, can we get that out of here? Can I instead of doing that, I know that's not the combo, but can I put that on it? And I'm just sitting there like, Jesus fucking Christ. And then there's DoorDash. Who the fuck's DoorDashing AMC food?
Whatever they got to do to stay in business, I say. You know, because
no, look, I'm not saying, but I'm saying like who's actually.
I could see
like,
people.
I'm hungry.
Yeah.
What's AMC got? What the fuck are you talking about?
If you have like kids and you want to have like a movie night at home, you know, that's your thing for the night.
Yeah, but if you're gonna have a movie night at home, make it because it's again the whole reason you eat before you go to the movies. It's so fucking expensive to order the AMC food.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna pay way too much for the food, and it's not like. I'm ordering P.F. Chang's. It's fucking AMC dine-in food.
Well, and people were ordering like slushies to go and stuff like that. Like,
yeah, but you guys...
Those things melt in 4 seconds. I get one every time, and by the time the credits or like the previews are over, that thing is melted.
That's the why I used to be a slushy man, but after a while, it's that every time the whole experience of a slushy is you're going through the slushy, and it's only after you've got the slushy that you remember. Oh, this is why I don't do slushies often.
Yeah,
because it's kind of annoying.
But it's my movie tradition. I got to do it. I got to get a slushy every time. But no, it was good, and it was good to like get out. We all got it. I mean, listen. They did all that.
We don't fucking do anything.
Yeah, you know, they talked and all that through the movie.
No, but it was funny.
Yeah, it's just.
It was fun.
It's
we all
going
enjoyed
out.
It. Yeah. Dan liked it. If it's not stand up. Dan doesn't fucking stay awake for anything.
And he went into that movie saying, I can't wait to take a nap.
Yeah, he was joking around. He's fucking with Luge.
He was so going to take a nap, and he sat through that whole thing. I
looked over at some points, and he was like leaning into the movie. I was like, wow. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah. I just, you know, like I said, and I get why he had to do it. If you tried to release like an actual
faithful adaptation of the Odyssey,
no one would fucking care. No one has attention spans anymore. No. They don't care about the nuance. You know,
I mean, it's good in terms of like, one, it's just an old story.
Yeah.
That like you have to like.
Everyone should.
There's this urge to do it different. It's like the same thing with Superman.
Yeah.
Superman's origin story has been told so many times.
Yeah,
they're
that's
just thinking we can't just do the origin story again. That's why James Gunn's Superman is the way it was because everyone knows he crashes on Earth. Krypton blew up. His parents are dead. It's like Batman. We've all seen we've all seen him get shot.
Pearls.
We've all seen the pearls. We've all heard Martha. We're sick of it by now. It's the same. Odyssey is that times 1,000 because it's the oldest story we have.
It's the oldest story ever.
So other than the Bible.
Yeah.
Which is actually not as
old as the Odyssey. I think it's actually old. Yeah, Odyssey's old. It's the first actual written down.
It's the first like in the way like narrative, because it's technically an epic poem.
Yeah.
But that poem is written in a way that it's like an actual modern story. It's like the first modern story.
Yeah.
Really.
That was written. That went from oral history
Right.
to
It breached the
actual
oral tradition.
Yeah, actual written down.
Because before, the reason it's kind of the way it is, where it's like a long, interesting story, is because like the oral tradition in old Greek, in like ancient Greece, was like you just have to have the most interesting story.
Yeah.
So you just have to be able to keep talking and keep spinning this yarn to keep people listening
Yeah.
to you talk, which is kind of why it has those legs where
Yeah.
like it feels like it's never ending. But you can't just do the Odyssey.
Well, because you had nothing to do back then.
Yeah, you just
That
can't
was your whole night. Was that one story?
thinking. That's
yeah.
why philosophy was like an occupation.
Or like you telling that story to people. That was the whole night.
Yeah.
You know.
People sat around a campfire. They drank wine that was like 400% proof.
Yeah.
That got you fucking blind. And then you just, who has the best story?
Yeah.
And Homer was one of those guys that was just it.
No, it was
Could you
good.
imagine being Homer back then?
Oh, you were the man.
You were fucking the man.
Because it's only entertainment people really had.
You were like Kevin Feige.
Uh-huh.
You had all the story. You had the lore.
You were selling out shows like Dane Cook back
were
in
selling-
2007.
You were selling your own toys.
Yep.
Your own spin-offs. If there was Disney Plus back then, it would be Homer Plus.
It would be Homer Plus. That's
You
true.
guys got the Iliad,
Yeah.
the Odyssey. It's like the most interesting narrative, like long narrative.
Yeah. But then the Iliad is like before
That's like the
Yeah.
Iliad is
the
it's
war
weird.
on
There's-
Troy.
There's like a conversation of why it's not called the Achillead, because
I
the
know.
Iliad is Achilles' story.
Yeah. And then retroactively they made him
Right.
like
It's weird. It's
they
weird.
made
that-
him a myth and a demigod and all
because
that.
it's also because the Odyssey is Odysseus. It's why it's called the
Yeah.
Odyssey. It's for Odysseus. So that's why it's weird that it's not called the Achillead.
It could be a translation thing
could
that
be
we
that.
don't know about.
Yeah.
His name probably wasn't like actually Achilles, you know.
Right.
It's just it was probably translated so many times.
That goddamn hunk,
Yeah.
Brad Pitt. I wish they could just get Sean Bean. Just get Sean Bean to play Odysseus again from Troy.
Yeah.
But then he wouldn't
Sean
have been able
Bean.
to live.
They would have
He
had to
would
kill
have
him.
died in that scene.
They had to kill
In
him.
the end, he would have actually died.
Yeah. It's the rules.
Even though it goes against ancient code
Yep.
of how the story is written.
It's Hollywood code. You have to kill Sean Bean
He's not allowed to live.
every time.
Even in Martian, he kind of dies because he gets fired. His character gets fired, and you don't see him again.
He can't finish the movie.
That's the one.
Sean
that-
Bean cannot make it to the end of a movie.
The only thing they kind of save him because they give him that throwaway scene at the end where he's playing golf
Yeah.
because he's retired, but he still kind of dies. But I think that wraps us up. I think that's everything we
It's
wanted
hot in
to
here.
get
I'm
to.
sweating down my
It's
back.
really hot. If you guys couldn't tell, we're like
We're cooking.
just got out of the shower.
Yeah.
It's so hot back here, but I think this was a nice return to form.
Yeah.
I want to keep going with it. We're going to keep putting out episodes. We're just going to have to be on our best behavior
Oh yeah.
so that we don't get
Don't get
fucking
pee-pee whacked
Spartan
again.
kicked into obscurity by Big Brother. But that pretty much does it for us today. If you still are watching, be sure to like and subscribe. If you want to go back and you want to listen to those old episodes that you're not finding on YouTube, again, you could always go back on the Apple Podcast. There's a feed on there for Strain of the Week. Same with Spotify, anywhere you can get podcasts. You can find those episodes, it's just audio only right now.
Yeah.
Because it's not allowed to be on YouTube. But I think that does it for us.
Hell yeah.
We're gonna get the hell out of here.